I feel like this is a love story and a story of determination. She's Canadian, but she's been living in Ukraine since she went there in 2003 and fell in love with the people and the culture. And now, rather than coming back to Canada, she's decided to stay in the conflict area to help in any way she can. LANA NILAND is currently in Poland, and she joins us now. Thank you so much for your time today, LANA.
Hi there. Thank you.
So what first took you to Ukraine all those years ago?
Well, I arrived in 2003 to dance, in fact. I danced with the Ukrainian National Ensemble there for a number of years. And I thought it would be a year or two and I would, return to Canada to start real life. And instead, real life found me in Ukraine.
And so you have Ukrainian heritage, right? So it makes sense to me that you would go there and feel instantly at home. But was it kind of like other level for you, LANA, like how you just fell in love with the people and the culture?
So that's the strange, or maybe it's the unique thing about me as well, is that I actually don't have any Ukrainian culture or heritage roots at all.
Oh my!
I started Ukrainian dance quite young. I started dance quite young, and the woman who owns the studio, she was Ukrainian, and she offered this extremely incredible art form. And I think it was 9 or 10 when I first started this dance, and it was incredible. It was wonderful. The costumes, the music, the movement on stage. And so this group that I danced with professionally here in Ukraine came to Canada in the late 90s, and I sat transfixed on the edge of my stool chair when I was watching them in concert. And I said to myself then, I don't know how, I don't know when, but I will dance with this group at some point, and I did. And yes, you're right. There is some kind of a magic, not just about this kind of, dance or culture, but the culture, the country and the people and its history, and it has a way of sort of digging its claws into you that you just can't leave. It's mesmerizing, really.
Tell us about when war broke out. What was that like for you? You were living in Kyiv, right?
I was, yes. Kyiv has been my home for the last nearly 19 years. Nobody, if you'd have asked me this question a month ago, we would have all said, there's no way that this will come to Kyiv. There's no way it will come to the capital. That Putin will, he'll dig around a little bit in the east, maybe a little bit in the south, to try and take this land bridge that he basically is continues to attempt now to connect Russia with Crimea, but there's no way that he would make it to us. And we were wrong. We were all wrong. And so we woke up on that Thursday morning, the 24th of February, to war, basically. And it was quite a sobering moment. I had dozens and dozens of messages from people from all over the world, hoping that I was okay, telling me to come home in quotation marks, and I had to say a number of times, I am home actually, and we'll fight this. We're not backing down. We're not laying down the flag, if you like.
So no thoughts of leaving. You chose to stay. You felt compelled to stay. What was that time like in Kyiv under siege? And now that you're in Poland, what are you seeing? What are you living?
So Kyiv was definitely tense. My heart goes out to everyone who is still left either in Kyiv or in Kharkiv or Zhytomyr, Mariupol, where either they can't or they won't leave. I get that also, because I also feel compelled to return, even though it's quite dangerous at the moment. Your days are filled with the air raid sirens that go off, warning you to take cover in bomb shelters, which I had three along my street. I knew exactly where I needed to go if need be. And then the evenings typically were filled with either shelling or bombs going off in the distance. And for me, I had taken on a number of animals, rescue animals, and so trying to calm beings without any sort of language or comprehension of what's going on. That was also quite. It's difficult because they're scared clearly, but you can't tell them that it's going to be all right.
Yeah.
So we ended up leaving, heading out of Kyiv and making it to the border with Poland. I was able to deliver all of the animals safely to their owners who had been evacuated or who had left previously. So in that case, that small story was a successful one, but the story is still being told in Ukraine has no ending just yet.
And what is the nature of your work that you're doing right now in Poland? I understand you're helping volunteers. You're assisting with military grade first aid kits. Tell us the situation and what you're doing there now.
So about the fifth day in, I thought that there was something that I needed to do that was far more than just doing some live posts on Facebook and taking in animals. And so I endeavored to start a fund, which we have done, and I continue to work on at the moment. I've come to Lublin in Poland to ensure that our logistics are operational. We've got different aid coming in from all over the world. We collect it in Poland here, and then it goes off to different points in Ukraine where it's necessary, where it's needed most. Really, it's called UkrainianPatriots.org. We're in the process now of setting up all of the necessary connections and whatnot. But it will help what's going on here now, of course. But we really understand that there's going to be a lot of rebuilding that needs to happen as well, and so we will continue long past the conflict also.
That website again, Lana, it's UkrainianPatriots.org?
UkrainianPatriot.org, that's right.
.org. And that's where people, if they feel compelled to give a donation or do something to be able to help, that's where they can find out how?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay. And then I can't help but think about, you said you'd heard from so many people saying, come home. And you were like, no, but I am home. Any thoughts at some point of coming back to Canada, or are you determined to stay there?
No, absolutely. I mean, to visit, absolutely. And to be encircled in the love and care of friends and family, of course. But no, my heart is here. It has always been here, to be honest. And here it will stay for the time, at least for the time being. So
I have to ask, just because the footage that we've seen, and I mean, you've seen it firsthand of what the situation in Kyiv is. It's just been decimated, it seems. Do you think you have a home to go back to?
Well, I will admit that every morning I open the news with a bit of trepidation. And the buildings that continue to fall, but not only in Kyiv, in the other centers as well, Kharkiv and Mariupol, which are seeing directed fire on civilian buildings, such as in Mariupol, where the maternity ward was targeted. These are needless actions, absolutely needless. But it demonstrates the level of cruelty that's being meted out by Vladimir Putin at the moment. And it's one of the reasons why what's happening in Ukraine, it needs to stop, of course, but it's also something that needs the attention of the world, because it's a warning really to everyone that Putin is capable of so much. And if he succeeds in Ukraine, there's no stopping him. He could be at the doorstep of any country next.
Yeah, I hear you, and I know everyone listening is hearing what you have to say, Lana, and also just feeling thankful that you're there doing the work that you're doing. It's amazing. We really appreciate your time today. Thank you. Please stay safe.
Thank you so much for paying attention. It's with the care and support of people like yourselves that we're able to continue. Thank you.
Take care. That is LANA NILAND, an absolutely amazing Canadian woman who's been living in Kyiv, as you heard her say, since 2003, and she is staying there currently in Poland, helping in any way she can. If you would like to make a donation or know more, you can go to ukrainianpatriots.org.